What's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick little video for people who have asked me about forging and materials, how those work. So the first thing I want to cover is you get forging materials mostly from attacking rebels as well as from the Lost Temple event. You get Lost Temple event happens every 5 days, and that is covered in a different video, but that is the best way to get materials for forging. You can also get materials, as I said, from attacking rebels. So you can see here I would get gear that I can use to either dismantle or fully use if I choose to, as well as some materials here. As you attack higher level rebels, you do have an opportunity to get up to blue level materials, and I'll go over all the grades and stuff shortly. But just know, the higher difficulty of the rebel, the better material you're going to get. The way you get to your materials is if you tap on Bag, and then you hit the Materials tab, and it's going to bring up a list of all of the different materials that you have on your character. Now there's a few different things you can do from here. You can choose to convert, and what this does is it allows you to take 3 of a lower tier material and make it into 1 of a higher tier. So you can see I do have 3 white tier materials that I can make into 1 green tier material, okay? And I could do the same if I tap on the purple. I can take 3 blue materials and turn them into 1 purple material. Now it's also possible to go backwards with this. If I hit the degrade button here and I tap on purple, I can take this orange and make it into 3 purple, and then do the same thing here. Now you can see I've got 5 different purples, so I can go all the way down, which is 15 blues. I can also hit degrade all, which is going to make me have 47 greens, and then degrade all again, which is going to give me 141 whites. Let me go ahead and fix this real fast, give myself a couple here, and you can do that with every one of these materials to give you an advantage. Higher tier materials are more precious because they are used for better gear, and then this will also allow you to not only craft the better gear, but eventually you will get to a point where you have to get up to all the way to the red ones, which takes 3 legendaries. So it's something you want to do pretty consistently. If you already have a full set of, say purple gear, and you need to get to the orange gear, you'll want to start saving up your materials, upgrading those, going through that process alone. But for the most part, if it's white or if it's green, you want to just upgrade it to the next tier without stopping. You never want to have really just greens and whites. I always try to make sure that I keep all of mine upgraded as best as I can. Now, to go on to the actual forging screen, all you have to do is go into your castle. If you go over to the blacksmith, which is right here in your city, and you hit Forge. Now, there's 2 different options there. Forge Garb is for the paid gear, so those require specific marks that you get from the paid bundles. I'll be doing a comprehensive guide more on the paid stuff later. But for right now, all you have to do is go into the blacksmith and hit the forge button, and you'll see here I brought up a list of all of the gear that I can forge, as well as a few focal points that I do want to talk about here. First off, you'll see if I press on this apprentice dagger, there's 2 different options that I can choose from here. One's going to be for the green color, one's going to be for the white one. If you look in the top right corner, it says stats infantry attack. Now it is chosen on the common one. I get 0.6 infantry attack. If I hit uncommon, it goes up to 0.8. But the materials required also goes up to the next tier. So the same will work if I go from uncommon on the machete. It goes infantry attack 1%, only takes greens. The blue ones, I get infantry attack 1.5, so it's better for infantry attack, and it also unlocks grain output speed. And this continues to go up like that until you get up to the purple ones. There's an extra fix, and the infantry attack is still increased, as well as the grain output speed. And I don't actually have an orange one on here, but the next one does add a 4th affix. So when you get up to the orange gear, there are 4 affixes on the gear, and you will want to try and make the best stuff that you can. Another thing that you're going to want to watch out for here, if you look at these blue ones right here, the three that I've just tapped on, you can see in the top left corner of each one there's a little symbol. This one right here looks like two scales, old Greek scales. What that means is that that piece of gear specifically is best for resource output. So usually those things have better options for output speed, gather speed, those kind of things. As you can see here, so like this weapon alone, this is still the resource one, it gives me two different sets of output speed. So that set is the resource set, so you'll want to use that. I like to have a backup set of that for when I'm not in combat. That way I can have the best output production that I possibly can. The next one right here is the little hammer, and what that is that's the support tab. So it's support gear. Primarily the stats on this are going to benefit you for rebel rating, as well as upgrading buildings, research, those kinds of things. So it's best, if you want to have a set, I would really only use it if you're starting a building. For the most part, your combat set will still do best for your rebel rating, but this isn't bad if during a rebel raid event you need some bigger recovery speed. There's also some that increase march rate and stuff like that, march speed. So you'll want to have a nice variety of these gear sets. Usually you'll just stick with a combat set until you get to a higher level, and then you'll want to switch over and probably make a resource set as your second. The last one that we're going to go over is the combat set. Now as you can see here, this one, instead of giving me an output speed boost, is going to give me two different sets of attacks. So this is the combat set. That's what the two crossed swords mean. It's the combat set. And the combat set, there's always one of each set per level tier. So you can see here, these ones require a level 26. So I can't equip these until my character Lord level is at level 26. But the purple one would give me artillery attack. And then same here, this one's the level 21 set. So there is an entire set dedicated for each tier as you move up. The armor has the exact same affixes. You can see here, this is the resource set. This would give me gather speed, recruit limit, and grain output speed. So again, focus primarily on that resource gathering and things like that. This one is the building, the support set. So this one's going to give me research speed and iron output speed. And then this final one is going to give me defense, HP, and recruit limit. Now that's just on the helmets. All of the gear, the gear levels do go up as you go down this list. So weapon requires 26 for the best set that I can make. But this one goes from 23 to 28 for the armor piece specifically. If I go down all the way to the boots, it does require level 30, and the boots require, for the previous tier, require 25. So there's a benefit to having all of the different pieces. You will want to try and keep your gear upgraded as best as possible. Gear does make quite the impact on combat, especially as you can see, this is 4.3 artillery defense and artillery HP. That's a massive bonus. You always want to make sure that you have the newest and best gear that you can make. I believe it is after you get to level 30. I believe it's level 31 that you unlock the legendary sets for the non-paid versions of the gear. But I'm going to go ahead and start one of these just so you guys can get an idea of how it works. As you can see here, this combat piece right here that I have, I'm actually going to make one that I can actually use. So this one right here, it needs 1 blue amethyst, 2 blue iron ore, and 1 blue horn. Once you have all the materials that are required, all you have to do is hit the forge button right here. It's going to start a timer. I am in a warband, so if I hit the aid button, it will allow you to use your warband to help you build this, or you can use regular speed ups that aren't based on healing, recruiting, or building. I am going to go ahead and just instant finish this. Confirm. And now it's going to bring up that I completed the gear. I could share it to the warband channel if I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that and hit confirm. Once you have the piece of gear built, all you have to do is tap on your Lord image right up there in the corner. I'm not going to do that for anonymity's sake. But once you're in that screen, all you have to do is go to the slot that you just built or you're trying to upgrade, tap on it, and it will allow you to equip it. Or you can come down here into your items, go over to gear, tap on the new piece, and hit equip. And you can see your power does increase because, again, it is increasing specific stats, same as research. So when you go into combat, that these are affecting those stats specifically. If you have excess gear, You can also tap on that piece of gear, hit the degrade button, and it's going to give you a couple of materials that is based on the grade and level of the type of gear that you're using. So that's all I got for forging and materials and stuff for today. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send me a message on Facebook, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Thanks, guys.